and men like you. I want you to come on in today. Today we're going to talk about there were 33 children, missing children that were found this month, which is January 2021, and this is also Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Human Trafficking Awareness Month. The United States government have about 86 different task force around the country. Excuse me, I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. 86 task force around the country that is devoted to finding these missing children, these sort of sting operations. And so I came across this article out of USA Today, and I wanted to just definitely share the audio from a local Fox 11 news channel. But as you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this broadcast. I want us to take a moment to really think about
36 missing children.
Sorry, all of the children
recovered in Southern California
have been missing, that have not been found. Many Black children in our neighborhoods, in our different states. A lot of missing Black girls. Especially missing Black boys, missing Black women. All right. And so human trafficking is not just an inner city problem. It's not just an American problem. This is like a worldwide issue and conspiracy. And a lot of folks out there are literally selling kids and, prostituting them on the dark web. And it's just really disgusting when you think about it. One of the reasons why I'm like, my eyes a little baggy and I'm really tired. I was up until about 4 a.m. in a lecture that Dr. Phil Valentine had, and this issue of human trafficking definitely came up. The topic was Agenda 2030, Agenda 21 through 2030. So y'all should definitely check that out. You may be able to purchase that, via his website, but it was definitely a great lecture. And then I wake up this morning and then I'm reading through these news articles and I saw that according to the FBI, as I stated before, 33 missing children were recovered in a joint LA-based operation. So we're going to listen to a soundbite, like I said. But in the meantime, make sure you come into Fly Nubian Queen. Definitely hit the like button, hit the share button on this broadcast. This is a topic that I hate talking about. However, I find it to be really necessary. It's necessary that we have this conversation about human trafficking. And we're also going to talk about some tips and things that we should be thinking about for the rest of 2021, January 2021, Human Trafficking Awareness Month and beyond. All right. The other thing I want to do is remind you all to text the word Queens to 31996. That's Queens with an S to 31996. That way you'll be notified when we do go live and when other queens in our network also go live on Fly Nubian Queen. Be sure to subscribe to us on Facebook as well as iTunes. On Facebook, our page is flynubianqueen.com. All right. And as you know, this weekend, January 30th and January 31st, we're having the Women of Wealth Weekend Conference, right here on Fly Nubian Queen. So please go over to womenofwealthweekend.com to get your tickets. There are going to be several panels. I'll be there, as well as our sister Vicky Dillard, and some other queens on our network. So be sure to please definitely grab your tickets at womenofwealthweekend.com. I see you all coming into the Lioness Den. Make sure you hit the like button on this broadcast because we definitely want to get the word out. Let me know which state you are coming in from, all right, around the country. All right. It seems that our chat has been disabled, which is really interesting. All right. But either way, we're going to get this message out about human trafficking. If this video, for any reason, is shadow banned or we're unable to comment, I don't understand why, because we're talking about something really noble. This is a news art. This is a real thing that's going on. And we definitely going to get this message out. And we're going to talk about Human Trafficking Awareness Month in general. All right, so let me go ahead and read this. If y'all can't comment, don't worry about it. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. So I read that. So let's listen to exactly what happened in LA the other day, right? 33 missing children, and I'm glad that they were found. But let's listen to this. Let's listen to this and let's learn a little bit about how these sorts of sting operations are conducted, because we need more of these. Okay. I would share my video right now, but I don't want to, because this video, first of all, this article is from usatoday.com. The video clip that we are going to hear, the sound bites from, is from the local Fox 11 News. I believe that's LA. However, I'm not going to show my video because these human trafficking victims that they rescued are dressed scantily clad, if you will. They're wearing short skirts, halter tops. These are little, these are little girls. They were out there being pimped basically, and I don't want to show that, but it's important that we listen in terms of how nearly 36 missing children were recovered in Southern California. All right, so listen up.
Missing children recovered in Southern California through a multi-agency investigation. Gina Silva spoke with the FBI tonight and brings us the latest on the Operation Lost Angels.
We consider it modern day slavery.
Young human trafficking victims, some forced into prostitution, are now safe and away from their abusers.
33 juvenile victims, ranging in age from 13 to 17. And in that, we were able
33 juvenile victims. Listen, I'm just going to rewind that so y'all can catch the age range again. Okay, here we go.
Juvenile victims, ranging in age from 13 to 17.
13 to 17.
And in that, we were able to identify that at least 8 of them had been sexually exploited. That is something that we take very seriously.
Operation Lost Angels started on January 11th by teams of local, state, and federal agencies. Christy Johnson is the assisting director in charge of the FBI Los Angeles field office.
The fact that it's a surge and to have recovered 33 child victims is a huge success.
Johnson says in most sex trafficking cases, the victims know the person forcing them to sell their bodies.
Sometimes people they know, sometimes people in their circle of friends or family. Sometimes it is somebody that's actually a love interest that or appears to be a love interest, legitimate love interest, and they think they have a relationship with this person.
During this multi-agency operation, all the victims were on the track, a term used to describe a known location for commercial sex trafficking.
We did arrest one individual on state charges for human trafficking, but we also started new investigations into additional traffickers.
Currently, the FBI has 86 human trafficking task forces across the country. I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
All right, so y'all heard that, okay? I'm glad that those children were found.
Fact, all tax companies.
I'm glad that they were found. However, they shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place because there were some adults out there definitely exploiting them. And so children were found. Let's see what happens. All right. Now they are definitely messing with this video, by the way. So I'm letting folks on our team know. You all are unable to comment. We'll continue to play around with the title or whatever, but I'm not understanding why I can't do a simple video on the internet about Human Trafficking Awareness Month 2021. I really don't get it. It makes no sense. So again, that article was out of USA Today. And I definitely implore you to go check that out. Let me see what else we got going on here. Yeah, they're definitely playing with this live feed. Hopefully you all can hear me. If you can hear me, definitely, if you could, please make sure you hit the like button so I can know that like folks are actually here with us. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Then the next thing I wanna do is, where's that USA Today article? I need to find that. I'm going to put that in the chat for you all. I want to bring you all's attention to this website called hopeforjustice.org, hopeforjustice.org. And it is devoted to ending, modern day slavery in the form of human trafficking, because there's multiple, manifestations of modern day slavery. We got the prison industrial complex, you know, a lot of people are exploited in the workplace and that sort of thing, but this is really about human trafficking. So this is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. All right, we are in January. We're wrapping up a very tumultuous January 2021. It says about the month, January 2021 is the National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month as decreed by presidential proclamation. January is also known as Human Trafficking Awareness Month. All right. It is a key time for us all as individuals to educate ourselves about human trafficking and crucially to learn to spot the signs of trafficking. This is the most important part of what we need to be talking about today. We're going to get into the red column over there. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share this broadcast for me, please. All right, they're trying to shadow ban us, but I mean, now my eyebrows are raised like, really, we can't talk about ending human trafficking and the exploitation of children? What the hell is really going on these internet streets? But either way, it's a key time for us all as individuals to educate ourselves about human trafficking and crucially to learn to spot signs of trafficking. It is also a time for us to take these messages to our workplaces, our churches, our schools, our representatives, and everywhere else. Yes, I agree with that. At Hope for Justice, we investigate cases of human trafficking and work closely with law enforcement to rescue victims and ensure evidence is gathered against perpetrators to see them brought to justice. Our team of investigators is drawn from some of the most respected and prestigious law enforcement agencies in the country. Okay, that's about this particular organization, but let's talk about spotting the signs of trafficking. I don't know enough about this organization, so this isn't an endorsement, but what I am doing is pulling up this website to bring our attention to the fact that January 2021 is about human trafficking prevention, right, and awareness. And most of us don't know that. But it says spot the signs of trafficking. If you commit to do just one thing to mark National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month in January 2021, the single best action you can take is to learn how to spot the signs of trafficking. Hope for Justice can help. We have extensive information here on our website, as well as downloadable resources. So I'm definitely going to put this website in the chat. All right. So if you hit that button, it takes you to spot the signs of human trafficking. Awareness can save lives. Okay. And then you can download the resources there. I don't want to download anything on my computer from this website right now, but it says the indicators below should be considered together. And even if you are able to apply one or two or even three of the indicators to a person, they are not necessarily trafficked. However, if you have any suspicions about human trafficking in your area, you should definitely report it. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to pull up some of the resources. All right, some of the resources. In the meantime, I would like for you all to please hit the like button and share this broadcast. So this is what we have here. All right, let me see if we can make this bigger. So many different ones. All right, this seems to be a British organization. So here's a poster right here that they have, USA Spot the Signs poster, click to download. Wow, this is big. All right, look for 12 key indicators. 1, deception. 2, restriction of movement, right? 1 is deception. If child is being lied to, if they're lying to you, if they seem to be dishonest, you want to look out for that. That is subjective. I would kind of need more information in terms of like how to describe or explain it or what they mean by that. Number 2 is restriction of movement, right? A young person not being able to go anywhere or do anything without someone lurking in the shadows, looking at them as they're out being trafficked. I'll give y'all an anecdote and a story about this specific point in real life of something I experienced. 3, abuse of vulnerability. 4, withholding of pay. 5, excessive overtime. 6, abusive working conditions. 7, retention of ID documents. 8, physical or sexual violence. 9, debt bondage. 10, intimidation and threats. 11, fear and anxiety. And 12, limited family or social contact. Oftentimes, like victims of human trafficking just aren't children. They're also adults. They could be working in sweatshops. They could be working as domestic workers, right? and like the people who they're working for, being held by or being trafficked by, will hold their ID, they will hold their passport, they will hold their traffic documents, they will be perpetrating financial abuse, meaning not allowing them to get or to have any money. If they work at a location with other workers who are being trafficked as well, and this includes children, they will have transportation, like a van, to take them to the work location. And then when they're done with work, pick them up, put them back into the van, and take them to whatever holding spot that they live in. So that happens. The debt bondage, meaning that they're working and working and working, and they're supposed to be paying off a debt, but they're not able to. Yeah, I see that. I see that, brother. Someone's texting me that it's something wrong with the chat. I know it's something wrong with the chat. So yeah, these are some of the key indicators according to this website. And again, I'll put this information in there. To report a concern, call 1-615-356-0946. And so this particular organization is called hopeforjustice.org. Another thing that I pulled up was the U.S. Department of Defense. And they have some information here as well on National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Okay. January is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Human trafficking is a crime in which force, fraud, or coercion is used to compel a person to perform labor, services, or commercial sex, right? Sex for pay, like prostitution, forced prostitution. It affects all populations, adults, children, men, women, foreign nationals, and U.S. citizens in all economic classes. The Defense Department continues to raise awareness and do its part to end the crime. All right. And so they have stories and testimonials. They explain what human trafficking is. And then they talk about victims, how victims are often mistaken for criminals. I watched this video. I'm not going to share this with you all right now. So they're saying if you suspect human trafficking, please call the Inspector General's office or reach out to the National Human Trafficking Resource Center by clicking here. They have a hotline, and that number is 1-888-373-7888. All right. Another one I pulled up is the U.S. Department of State, or the State Department. They have a fact sheet here, which is a good resource. National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month, Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons. And I've actually heard from someone from both of the agencies that that I'm talking about right now. I've heard them speak in person. Some of their representatives speak in person about the initiatives that they have to end human trafficking, right? And to crack down on it and to hold people accountable. All right. So the significance of January originates, this is the history behind the month, originates from the Emancipation Proclamation, which Abraham Lincoln issued on January the 1st, 1863, declaring 3.1 million slaves be freed. In 1865, Congress passed and states ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, officially outlawing slavery and involuntary servitude in the United States, unless you're a criminal, right? Unless you're a felon or property of the state through the criminal justice system. They left that part out. But either way, it says more than 20 years ago, the Trafficking Victims Prevention Act, TVPA of 2000, enshrined the United States' commitment to combating modern slavery domestically and internationally. With this bipartisan law, the United States reaffirmed the fundamental promise of, quote, forever free, enshrined within the Emancipation Proclamation. In 2010, by presidential proclamation, January was declared National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Since then, 11 presidential proclamations have followed. These proclamations not only raise the profile of the issue, they are also snapshots of global trends and challenges and significant U.S. anti-trafficking policy achievements. These are some of the highlights, right? The issuance of an executive order in 2012, strengthening protections against trafficking in persons in federal contracts. In 2016, the first convening of the U.S. Advisory Council on Human Trafficking. 2017, these are relatively recent, y'all, notice that. 2017, the State Department's launch of its largest anti-trafficking program called the Program to End Modern Slavery. And in 2020, last year, under the Trump administration, during that time, the launch of the whole of government website on human trafficking, implementing part of the executive order on combating human trafficking and online child exploitation. We've talked about online child exploitation a lot in the Lioness Den. This is something that I want to continue to talk about. Yeah, still no comments, y'all. Don't worry about it. People are sending me messages, but you know, we can't really control that. Recent initiatives around human trafficking are relatively new, and folks within our community have consistently been trafficked for generations, right? For centuries. Okay. So I would love to see more of us involved in this conversation around human trafficking. Why do I say that? Because when I go onto Capitol Hill, when I go into meetings about human trafficking, I usually see, or like hearings or any of that, I usually see Black people being underrepresented. Last year around this time, I attended one on human trafficking. It was a bipartisan initiative. However, it was mostly conservatives who led the charge, and there were a lot of government agencies there that spoke. And the focus was on human trafficking as it pertains to, the focus was really on a lot of trafficking of Mexican women and what was happening at the border. When I was like, okay, so what about all these missing Black girls? And what about all these missing Black boys in our community? You know, what about that? Where's the same energy for that? And we were almost absent. I think we were absent in the conversation, aside from one woman, a white woman, who was an executive director of a local DC organization that serves victims of human trafficking, and mentioned Black children one time out of like a 3-hour meeting or 3.5-hour meeting, right, where different groups came up. So we want to get into this conversation. We want to hold folks accountable. If the government is putting money, and if there are like 80 something different task force to go and find missing children, especially, and missing people, then we need to make sure that those funds are also being allocated to help us find our children. I mean, oftentimes our children go missing and they don't even get an Amber Alert put out for them. Okay. And so many Black women are missing. Black men are missing. I opened up this book the other day. Where is that book? Which book was it? I opened up a book. Here it is. And this is not the right book. But either way, I opened up this book, one of these books that I had on my desk on my bookshelf, and a card fell out. And the card was about a brother who went missing. A brother who went missing hasn't been found yet. I promised to find that card for you, and then we're gonna, I want to do a follow-up on that and see where he is. He's a young Black male. So this happens not only to children, but we have to get in the conversation. We have to also, be responsible as much as possible for finding our children, pooling our resources together, and making sure that these predators don't come into our communities. And we're responsible, for that as well. But we also need to get in this national and international conversation in terms of what's happening, the trafficking of children. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. I'll be sure to, once this video uploads, I'll put these links in. But if you're tapped in and tuned in, the websites I went to are hopeforjustice.org. And it has some resources that you can download for warning signs of human trafficking. So you can even print those out and put them in your neighborhood or local shops and stores and stuff, so folks can get familiarized with the 12 steps, the 12 key indicators for kind of like noticing human trafficking, because oftentimes these things happen right under our noses. The other article I read from was USA Today, and then we went on to DODdefense.gov, right? The Department of Defense. So DODdefense.gov, it has something on Human Trafficking Month, and also the state.gov, which is the State Department, the US State Department. And this particular page is National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. And there's a fact sheet. You can download that. Please share these resources. All right. That's all I have for you now. I am glad that 33 children were found in Southern California. We need more children to be found, more women to be found, more men to be found. We need to look out for our missing Black children, especially. And please use the resources available to you. All right, we'll be doing some follow-ups on this. The month is not over yet, and so I may revisit this conversation. I actually do know several members, not members, several former who may want to come on and share their story. All right. So I want to remind you all, please, please, please hit the notification bell. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's a lot of y'all in here. I know that usually the chat in the Lioness Den is off the chain and we share information and we share ideas. For some reason, I don't know, we're unable to do that today, but it's okay. They're not going to stop us. Just definitely stay tuned for the next broadcast. And look, when this video uploads, we'll put in these resources, but let people know that this is Human Trafficking Awareness Month 2021. And do your own research, see what you can find on it. All right. I want to remind everyone, please, please, please go over to womenofwealthweekend.com, womenofwealthweekend.com. Our conference is next Saturday and Sunday, January 30th through January 31st from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on both days. That's womenofwealthweekend.com. And also visit our shop at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. All right. Thank you all so much. We will be back here tomorrow in the Lioness Den at 12 p.m. Eastern Time sharp. This broadcast is ending, but so is global racism, white supremacy. We will trample this beast through fortitude, preparedness, and collectivism. And always remember that they stole us, they sold us, so they owe us. Hashtag cut the check. Reparations now. All right.